Okay, so now let's have a look at the box office administration. So we'll go to the login page, we'll log in, and now we come to the admin home, and here you can see the options you have. You've got system settings, database utilities, manage users, manage events, manage categories, manage coupons, manage orders, design tickets, manage VAT rates, analysis, and logout. So let's first look at system settings to see what we can change in the system settings. Okay, so we can change the currency code, and you enter it with the HTML code, and then it will appear with the right code. You can change the cart position. Now that cart position, if we go back to the main site, okay, so, and the cart position we're talking about there is this little one here, so you can move that from the right or to the left. How many milliseconds after somebody clicks an image to enlarge it before it shrinks again. In the ticket shop, if you click an image, it will enlarge for so many seconds or milliseconds, and then it will go back to its normal size. So that's currently set at 5,000 milliseconds. The PayPal live email and the PayPal sandbox email, whether you're using it in sandbox or live, because when you're testing, you can test it with sandbox. The PayPal currency to use, and then you get a choice of all the ones you can use. The name of your site, VAT number if applicable, if not enter none, and then some color settings for the shop, cart and checkout. So for example, at the moment we have a purple color here set, so if we change that to let's just take that out. If we changed it to say red, you'll now see the ticket shop is now got the red top, and you can change various things there. You can change the font color of the top, back color, and so on and so forth, the detailed font color, etc. And how many events to display per page in the shop. So if you set it to 3 like we have here, you can see 3 events per page, and then you've got your page numbers for the next page and so on. Or you can set it for 4, 5, 6, however many you choose. You can also change the email header logo, so the header that will appear on the emails, and this is not actual size when it's shown here, but it must be a JPEG 600 pixels wide for that. And then there's also, you can change one bit of the wording in the email. The email will by default say you can collect your tickets for the event at the box office either before or after the event, before or on the day of the event. Please bring your email receipt with you. And we've changed it here to your tickets will be emailed to you once your order has been validated. And we'll come to the tickets and the emails later, but you can have that as anything, whatever you want in there. And then there's the logo for returning to the site from PayPal, and you can update that with your own. So there are your system settings. So if we go back to the admin home, now we have the database utilities, and on them you have backup the database or optimize the database. So we'll optimize the database, and there we go, and then it's been optimized by 0.1. So it's took out all the overheads on the tables to make it run more smoothly. So then if we wanted to back up the database. And here we go. The database has now been totally backed up to a file there. It's a zipped file, and then it tells you exactly where it is on your server. So you would download the file and put it on your hard drive, and then once you've done that, you don't want it to stay on the server in case somebody finds it, so you delete the file. There we go, the file has been deleted. Okay, so that's how we back up the database. Okay, so next you can manage users. You can have additional users to manage your system and manage the orders and so on, but they will only have access to some of the functions. So you can have one that is got limited admin functions but can't change things like add users and so on, and one that can only validate tickets at an event. So they would be able to, say, from their mobile phone or from a laptop, and they can validate the tickets at the event only, and then they appear in the list here before, and we have one of those validate only there, as you can see. Okay, so let's go back to the admin home. Okay, so now we can manage, we'll manage the events in a minute. Let's look at the categories. So we can manage the categories that you can put your events in. As you can see, you've got all your different categories here. You can switch one off at any time so it doesn't appear in the drop down lists, and then any events in that category won't be displayed online anymore, but we'll leave them switched on at the moment. And of course you can add a new category if you wish. So let's go back to admin home. So then we come to a similar thing. There's the manage coupons, only this is a little bit more detailed. We're running a bit slow here at the moment. Okay, manage coupons. So you can add a new coupon. So you would enter a coupon code which the user would put in to claim their voucher, the description of the voucher, what date it's valid from and what date it's valid to, and the voucher type, either a fixed amount or a percentage of the total. Then the voucher value, and that would either be, like if it's a fixed amount, then it would be $5, £5, £5, whatever currency you're using. And if it was a percent, you could put 5%, 10%, 15% or whatever, but just the numbers. So like if it's 50%, it would be just 50. And the minimum order value. So if the order value has to be a minimum amount, say $100, then you can enter that in here, and if there's no limit, then you would just put 0. But that would then mean that they have to spend $100 to get the voucher deducted, and whether it's active or not. We've got a connection timeout here. Oh, there we go. Right, so and then your current vouchers will be listed down below, and you can update them at any time. You can switch them on or off at any time, change the dates any time, and so on and so forth. And you can put as many vouchers in as you wish. Okay, so let's go back to admin. So next is we'll go to the manage different things first. So let's do the manage VAT rates. Again, here you can add your tax rates. So you could have, say, the standard rate is 20%, the half standard is 10%, no tax is obviously 0%, and then you could have tax rates 1, 2, 3, or whatever you want to add in to here. And again, you can switch different tax rates on or off at any time, or you can update them if the tax rate changes. Okay, so that's the VAT rates. Next we look at the design tickets. And the design tickets, this is what a sample ticket would look like. So you've got an auto-generated ticket number, a business logo, the ticket details, how many people for that ticket, the price paid, but it doesn't include any vouchers, and a ticket background, obviously, number of we did number of people. There's a code that goes on the bottom which you can validate the ticket, and name and address of the ticket holder, and then the terms of the ticket, and you can either put a hologram here or an auto-generated QR code, which we'll come to in a short while. So you're going to need 4 images, or only 3 if you use QR. So you would select your event that you're going to create your ticket for, and then you can choose a left hand bar like down here, and there's some pre-made ones here, so it can either say admission or ticket, or you can upload your own, as long as it's 300 pixels high and 53 pixels wide. So for this sample demo, we'll pick a brown ticket there. There we go. That's the left hand side. Then you can pick from the 4 pre-built ticket backs, or you can upload your own back, and again that must be 600 by 300. So we're going to pick this one as a sample. There we go. And then we come to the business logo. Again, you can upload one, and the size is there, 290 by 66, or you can choose the one that the sample one that's there, which wouldn't really apply to everybody. And then you can either select a image to go where the hologram is, or you can use the automatically built QR codes. So if we choose the QR code, then you'll see this changes to use QR code. There we go. And then we get a sample one there. So we can view a sample ticket now, and this is what our ticket will look like. Obviously the data on it is all fictitious because it's just a sample, but you end up with your barcode, your price, your persons, your ticket number, and your event details. Okay, so then you would add that to your event. So then every ticket you create for that event will look like that. So if we go back to admin and we look at manage orders, then in the orders, now you'll see here we've got a new order that's been created here. So we can view the order. So there's our customer details, PayPal transaction ID, the status of the order, how many items are on the order, and the total order value. And then it also calculates the tax value from the tax code that you used. So you enter the prices as per with tax, and then it will calculate the tax. So we've got 4 tickets here, and there are, each one has got its own status. So then we can create the tickets, and it will use the design that's been allocated for this ticket. And as we're using QR codes, the tickets have now been created. Server's running a bit slow at the moment, because that should now have changed. Okay, so we now create the tickets, so we can now view the tickets, and you'll see that the ticket created has now been updated. So we'll view the tickets. and there are our tickets. Okay, and let's just have a look at another one here too. So there's one there with just one ticket, so we'll look at that one. There we go, it's one ticket for one person. Now we can either print it, and it will automatically print it to wherever you want to print it, or we can email it. Oh, I went to the wrong one there. We can email the tickets. So the mail has now been sent to the person that purchased the tickets. Okay, so we should now receive an email. Here we go, because that was sent to us. So there is our order. It's now been emailed to us. And the ticket is there, and the order details have all come through. So let's just get that into, because the Outlook is not the best for viewing emails. There we go. So here's the emails. Okay. Message for you, sir. And there's the ticket been emailed. And the ticket is an image, so it can't be tampered with easily anyway. And the barcode will then allow you to validate the tickets on site, or not the barcode, the QR code will allow you to validate the tickets on site very easily. So now let's, where are we? There we go. So that's now been, and if you print the ticket, so if you view tickets and then print it, we're printing it to a, we won't actually print it, but we should now think we've printed it. And it's now updated it to printed. Okay, so let's look at the what we're looking at. Let's go back to the admin home, and now we can look at manage the events. So here is where you would add your event. So you'd give it an event title, an SKU, that's a unique code for it, and you can either use one of your own, or you can use the auto, and then it will generate a unique code for that particular ticket, event, whether it's active or not, what category it falls in, the basic ticket price, the VAT rate, how many tickets are available, event date and time. So you select your date and you enter your time. Event description, a more link if you want one, so they can get further information on another page or site. Then you add your options. So your first option would be a adult, say, perhaps, that depends on you. You must have a default option, so this will be an option for adult standard ticket, and they will then be charged the standard price for the ticket, and you add that, and that will then come in here. Then if you had a child standard, and you would have the child one $5 cheaper than the main one, so you'd enter -5, and then the child standard deducts $5. and then perhaps you might have a senior standard for 60 pluses, and you might say give them, I don't know, $4 off. So then they're now entered in there, and they will appear on the ticket ticket shop, so that they can select which types of ticket they require. And then you could have a second option list if you require, say, for circles, front rows, stalls, etc. Again, if it's a standard seat, you would add, oops, can't spell now. So a standard seat adds nothing. So if they didn't pick anything, then it will add nothing to it. That will be a standard seat they will get. And it must, the standard must always be the first option in the box. So like here we've got the adult standard and standard seat are both at the top, and then you could have, say, you know, a premier seat, which might be, say, a front row seat or something like that, and so this case that would add $5, say. So then you've got your premier seat adds 5. This is in pounds on this one, because we're using pounds. And you could have, say, the circle adds 4, say 4. So there you have it. Okay. Then you can add your event image. So you pick your image you want to use for your events. So we want to use that one. Okay, and then you just simply select an area that you want as your event image and click crop image, and then once you've done that, that will appear just there, and that will appear online. And if, whether this is a popular event or not, so that that would appear in the popular events list or the all events list. If it's in the popular events, that will appear in both lists, but in the popular events that won't show other events that are not popular events, if that makes sense. So then once you add that event, it's in the list below, and you can edit that at any time simply by clicking edit, and there is your event to edit, and there is our description of that event here. And we had some options in there, and in there. Okay, so it's as simple as that. That's adding your events. And that's all the options in your admin area. So enjoy.